Hello everyone, this is Jack Wu, your host for Success Edge. Today I want to talk about ego. Ego is the enemy. I want to recommend all my audience to read this book by Ryan Holiday. Ego is the enemy. I've been an entrepreneur. I have been in sales and team development business for so many years, over 20 years now. Personally, I have witnessed many people who have talent, who has a lot of potential, but doesn't make it. And I also have witnessed people who unleashed certain potential and got to a certain level, but eventually plateau and didn't go to the highest scale of, business. And of course, the most dangerous one was I was able to witness many who got to the highest level of income and eventually lose everything from respect standpoint of their peers, of their followers, to even money, right? So today I want to spend an episode talking about one of the biggest challenge as an entrepreneur as you elevate in your business. Ego is always gonna be there. Now, but let me start off by saying that every successful entrepreneur should have an ego. All right? If anybody who doesn't have an ego, to me, that's a loser. To me, that's not a competitor. I mean, if you really think about the president or all the presidents, ex-president of the United States, do they have massive ego? Do you think Michael Jordan has a massive ego? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg has an ego? Do you think Jack Ma, Alibaba CEO, has an ego? The answer is of course. But the difference between them and most people out there is that they know how to handle their ego properly. So let me get right into what I want to talk about today. 3 types of ego that can literally kill an entrepreneur. The first one is what I call the stupid ego. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. How many people have we met, or maybe I'm talking to you right now, is what I call the people, they don't know much. They don't do much. They don't make much, but they just think that they know everything. Anything that you tell them, advise them, they always say, I know it all, right? Let me tell you something about this, okay? Broke is bad. Stupid is awful. But when you meet somebody who's broke and stupid simultaneously together, man, that's the end of the world. Man, do you know how many of those people I meet every single day in my business, outside of my company? And hey guys, don't ever let stupid ego get in your way. Because I am gonna tell you today, if you let those ego get into your way, you will never elevate in your business. You will never elevate in your personal life. You will never elevate in any aspect of your life. The second type of ego is what I call frog under the well ego, all right? And you understand the frog under the well, right? When they look at the sky is only a little circle. They think wow, this is how big the sky is. I have met entrepreneurs and people, maybe their job, they get to 100 grand a year. Maybe as an entrepreneur, as a salesperson, you did well, you hustle, you work hard, you got to the 150, 200, $250,000 income, and then bam, those people, they stop learning. They stop learning. They say, well, I know everything already. You ask them, did you read any new books? They say, well, I read Think and Grow Rich already. I think I read Rich Dad and Poor Dad already. I read How to Influence Friends and People already. And you ask them to read any extra books, they say, man, I don't want to read, I know it all. Because they are already capped. You talk to them about new ideas, new way of doing things, new strategies, new way of thinking. They're always extremely close-minded. And they don't want to elevate because they really feel that, hey, I got it. I'm already there. Everything is going to be great. I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to listen to anybody else because they really think that the world is that small. Their identity is not up there yet. Meaning, I have seen so many of those people, when they make 200 grand, they spend $180,000. And they don't know how to save money. They don't invest their money. And the fact of the matter is that they really think that, fast money, fast success coming my way, and their identity is not at 200 grand. And so they spend 180 grand because all their life they think they're worth only 20 grand or 40 grand or maybe 50 grand. So the frog under the well type of ego it's not going to help you to get to the next level because you're no longer thinking, you're no longer believing your identity should be up there. Let me tell you guys something. If I make 100 grand a week, which I do a week, a guy like me believe that I'm supposed to make 100 grand a week. It's not a big deal. I have to keep learning to get to the 200 grand a week, to the 500 grand a week. Does it make sense for you? And the third type of ego, it's the biggest one, the most dangerous one. It's called the invisible ego. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. This is the most dangerous type of ego, because you won't even notice it unless you have a mentor who's been there, done it, and still doing it, and able to point you out. The invisible ego is where when you get to $500,000 income a year and above, bam, and everybody gonna come up to you and compliment you and tell you how amazing you are, how sexy you are, how beautiful you are, how handsome you are. Everything that anybody who come around you always tell you that you're the most magnificent person. Guess what's happening? Then all of a sudden your ego get into the way. It's called invisible because you don't even know about it. It started creeping into you. And you say, wow, maybe, I have nicer clothes now. I drive a nice car. I have beautiful dress. I have beautiful suits. I stay in a 5,000 night hotel, and everything's looking great, and I make a lot of money. Then all of a sudden, you let all these compliments get into your heart, and you start to feel that you are actually better than other people. You are born to be better, and you feel that it's a right for you to make this kind of money, right? But I'm telling you guys today, that's exactly what is going to stop that entrepreneur getting to the highest level, but most important is stay in that level. The invisible ego is also something that where when you get to a certain level, you start to feel, you are different, and you start to treat people differently. You start to put them down, and you start to say, hey, I'm God-like, I'm goddess-like. You know what? Don't get near me. That's dangerous. The moment you think that you deserve something, that is the time the biggest drop is going to come in your way, because you have no idea that's coming. Because if you don't understand that, you don't have a mentor to teach you that, very, very likely you won't be able to handle when the big drop comes. Why do you think CEO get fired? I'm not going to mention any CEO names, right? In the world today, there's a lot of CEO get fired every single week. You know why? Because number one, they don't know how to do their job right, and number two, most importantly, and I feel that it's because they're no longer listening to feedbacks from people who's working for them. They think that it's everything boils down to them. The attention is on them. They don't want anybody to be successful as they are. They are so afraid. Now this is important. When you get to the invisible ego type of situation, most people, they don't know is that they no longer want other people to draw out their attention. They are so afraid that they are peers, they are people who's working for them, and will eventually become better, so they become insecure. Now why is like that? Well, that's how people are wired. That's how people are wired. I'm not telling you that I haven't gone through those processes, because I've been in the business 20 years. Everything I just talked about, I've gone through it. The only difference between me and other people is that I graduated. As I end my episode today, let me remind you 3 types of ego that will literally kill an entrepreneur. Number 1, the stupid ego. Number 2, the frog under the well ego. And number 3, the biggest of all, is the invisible ego. Don't let those 3 egos kill you out of the game. And I hope that today my message is something that nobody ever kind of points you out. So think about the 3 types of ego. Do you have it? And if you have it, are you willing to change? Which one do you have? And if you let ego get in your way, I'm telling you, man, success and money will never stay with you. You're going to have attaining success, which is temporary, but I assure you, you're not going to have sustaining success in the long haul. With that being said, I want to hope to see every single one of you in my next episode of Success Edge. Take care and goodbye.